Hey, it's Chronologically Gaming, the only channel that's perpetually retro because we're playing every video game in order of release, but we're not playing everything tonight for this episode. You just gotta give us time to go through everything. Join me in the middle of November 1982. You think after 400 episodes I'd get the opening right? Welcome to the middle of November 1982. We were last on the Commodore VIC-20 playing Antimatter Splatter. Let's see what our next game is. Our next release takes us to the Sinclair ZX Spectrum. This is Battle of Britain, not to be confused with RAF Battle of Britain for the Atari home computer, Apple II, and TRS-80. This is a completely different game. This one is only available on the Sinclair ZX Spectrum. Wait a second, that's the later box, not the one we would see right now. This is our 132nd game we've seen on the Sinclair ZX Spectrum. And mind you, this has been released April mail order this year in 1982. This is the later box. Do we have the... Yep, it's a cassette tape. The Case-Off limited version of it. All they have is a screenshot on the front. I like the simplicity. But what was the first box you would have seen? Well, that would be this one. This is by Microgame Simulations and Robert Erskine. The second time we've seen this duo. The other one was Kingdom of Nam on the show. So the front of this box lets you know a little bit, sort of, what we're doing. Does everyone have an idea of what kind of game this is? It looks more like a shooter, actually, from this front of the box. Besides the box itself, the ad you would have seen in magazines at the time tell you it's One Day in Summer 1940. Reports coming in of an enemy bomber squadrons crossing the English coast, target unknown. Another game by Microgame Simulations. It sounds like we would have seen more by them, but not really. This is all we got so far. So this one was only £6 because if you were gaming or micro computer gaming in Europe right now, everything's super cheap. You got to be really, really cheap to release your games. It's a tense game of strategy for one player only. And there's our cassette tape that we're going to play on our Sinclair ZX Spectrum. Whether it's the first release or second release, we have a homebrew manual. It's not even a real one. It's September 1940. Fighter Command faces its toughest test. Reserves of aircraft trained pilots are at a low ebb. Your job is to use limited resources, defending London from German Luftwaffe. Full command list given. Press K to see the list, and we will use that command list. At least that must have been their later release. Yeah, so Microgame Simulations and then Case-Off were the ones that brought us this. Let's pop it and play Battle of Britain. It is November 20th, 1982. Brought to us by Robert Erskine. Way to go, Robert. All right, Cambridge, England. Do we want sound? Of course we do. We didn't get the Sinclair ZX Spectrum if we didn't want that. Do we want instructions? Yes. Yes, we do. Oh, man, we have a wall of text. 9 German bomber squadrons, fighter escorts, are flying by varying routes to one of the 3 possible targets. As commander of the 9 RAF squadron, your mission is to intercept the enemy before they reach their target. Last known positions of the enemy are plotted on the map and present your own positions. Enemy squadron routes need to be intercepted. Your squadrons can be scrambled. Yeah, we have just lots of information text. You can read it at your leisure, but here is your lore if you're wanting lore for a strategy video game. The context is World War II. We played plenty of video games where we're playing in a historical context. This game was written entirely in BASIC. Only block graphics, simple beeps. It allows you to direct the RAF defense against the Axis air blitz in London in 1940. It takes place on a 31 by 20 map using letter coordinates represented by each of the 620 squares on this map. We're going to be communicating with our squadrons, telling them where to go. All right, yeah. More text. More. And this is what we need to know. So memorize these commands because you'll be using this whenever you play the game. And of course, we want to get back to this list, so don't forget about K. But that shows us what we are. British is blue, German is red. When we're in combat, we flash just like that. It's using the character set mode. If 100 bombers reach their target, you will have lost. Do you want to change this number? Yeah, you can actually use this as a difficulty lever, but we'll just say no. We do not want to change it. And we begin with urgent news, breaking. Fighter command. This would be the slowest part of the game, waiting for the crawl of text at the bottom of the screen to come out. Oh, I know, right? No blue screen of death here. That doesn't even exist right now. So communications are going to come out. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the very first real-time strategy game for the Sinclair ZX Spectrum. And real-time strategy is kind of a loose term because it's slow. It's a very slow game. But if you just sit here and don't do anything, you'll lose. All right, so you can see nothing's happening right now. You can hit enter a command for tallies to move your squadrons around. That's all the numbers that are on the screen right now. So if I want to do, see how it kind of flashed for a second? That is enemies or raiders are coming in, and you're supposed to make movements. Yeah, there's the strength of the enemies, and whenever you want to change your position of units, you just type in the coordinates. So it is all keyboard controlled. Wouldn't surprise me. I mean, for a strategy game, you have to make sure you move your squadron in the right place to intercept the Germans. So here they come. You see, I haven't done or typed anything, and the planes are going to slowly start coming up from the bottom of the screen. So it is a real-time strategy in the sense of right now, but it is really slow. All right, so what command do we want? Let's go ahead and do D. Oh, I want J, right? Okay, there we go. Give me the command. Scramble, squadron, squadron on preset control, return to base, display the instructions. So if we want to move a certain target, we need to push S. And we have to wait for the text crawl. There it is. So while we wait for the command to unveil, you still have to wait for this text to come at the bottom. So while it's a real-time strategy game, it is so slow. It's one of the slowest that we've seen so far, but it wouldn't surprise me here on the ZX Spectrum. Okay, squadron number 1 through 9. Let's move number 1. And we are playing on that chiclet ZX Spectrum keyboard, so imagine the key press just, you have to hold it down and wait for a little bit. So if you like World War II, you like strategy games, you would enjoy it. I, though, have seen every strategy game on all home computers everywhere, and this one, while it's cool that it's a real-time strategy game, yes, if it was faster, it would be more impressive, but you got to admit, there's other real-time strategy games on other home computers that are blowing us away right now, like Cytron Masters. It just comes to mind. But this one would be humble enough. So here we go. Coordinates we want to move to. It is, let's do SM. SM. And then you send the command. Every time you send a command, it's going to have a text crawl of them saying they're going to be moving. Here you go. Wait for him. He's going to go fly. There he goes. And he does his command, but you have to wait for that crawl. So it's not necessarily that the loading or moving of the units is long. It's just that text crawl just takes way too long. But that would be your experience playing Battle of Britain here on the Sinclair ZX Spectrum. I can understand why I don't see a lot of people talking about this one, and that's really all I'm going to give you as a quick taste of that. If you had this on your Sinclair ZX Spectrum, you would take the time, invest much more on the commands, movement, units, and so forth. That was the 48K Sinclair ZX Spectrum. That's the beefy memory unit, and it still was just a very slow experience. Oh, that's right. Thanks, Brad. It was upper and lowercase. Yeah, so here you go. Of all the games you could play across all home computers, you do have to invest a little bit more time in this one, but I would still say this is still around the average range. The real-time element is impressive. If this was only for the Sinclair ZX Spectrum, I might say 3.5 stars, but putting this against everything that's out there across all home computers, in the chat I see a 2.5, around a 3. I'm going to say 2.5 stars. You'd find some enjoyment around it. I wouldn't call it bad, but I'd still say around the average range. Brian's throwing out a 2-star and mainly a 3. Yeah, there you go. Choose it for yourself and put yourself in the position right now and see what you think. All right, after that, let's see what our next game is. We're still going to hang out in Europe a little bit longer. This is Popeye, first released on the Philips Videopac G7000. This is the home console we've seen since 1978, and we get the latest Popeye. Let's take a look at the box. Oh, very nice. So this one is the third game we've seen that Popeye has been in. The Nintendo Game & Watch is when we first saw Popeye on a handheld in August 1981. And then we just recently saw him in the arcades in August 1982. So Popeye, I don't even know if this is licensed by Nintendo. It says it's licensed by the King Features Syndicate, which is the company that handles Popeye. This one is only available, this version is only available for the Philips Videopac G7000, and it's the 41st game we've played on this console. Flip it over the back, pick the language, and read it. In this game, you're Popeye. Your goal is to catch all of Olive Oil's hearts before they hit the water and sink. Sounds just like the arcade, right? Or before Brutus knocks you out. Good luck. And there she is, Olive Oil at the top. What other artwork do we have for Popeye? Yes, I am what I am. Besides the box, there's the Philips Videopac cartridge, handle and everything included right here. This one has a copyright of 1983 because we're going to be seeing other releases of Popeye on other systems in 1983. This one is the very first time you could have played Popeye on a home console. So third time we've seen Popeye, but first time on a home console. There's the example of the screenshot. We have the manual too. Tell us how to play Popeye. I want to know. All the languages, because this was not ported over to the Magnavox Odyssey 2, and you might figure out why when we start to play the game. This was only available in Europe, at least this version was. Parker Brothers did this one. It's the 6th game we've seen by Parker Brothers. They've done lots of stuff on handhelds, but on consoles, it's the 6th game we've seen. They did Star Wars that we saw on the Atari 2600. They've done Frogger on Atari and the Philips Videopac, and we saw Amadar and Spider-Man. This one is Nintendo. Look at that. I was looking for it. Nintendo of America. I'm so glad Nintendo had part in this one. This is the 41st game we've seen by Nintendo across all systems. That's it. Imagine a world where Nintendo has only done 41 games. They've done 15 arcade games. Donkey Kong has been home on the Atari, the ColecoVision, and the Intellivision. And Popeye, man, see, they had to release it on other consoles. If only Nintendo had their own console that they could put their game Popeye on. They should start working on that, and I think they are right now. All right, so here we go. How do we play? There we go. Yes, we're Popeye. That looks just like us. Nothing like the arcade. If you remember the arcade, the graphics resolution was through the charts. It was some of the highest you could see on any video game, and doesn't look anything like Popeye. Looks like all those character graphics that Ed Averitt has done for the Videopac and the Magnavox Odyssey 2. There's our controls. We got an 8-way joystick. We can move around, grab spinach, pull sinking hearts out of the water. That's pretty cool. Punch bottles thrown by Brutus. Drop the bucket. They got the bucket here too? I gotta be able to try that. You begin the game with 3 Popeyes, or 3 lives. And the screen right here above my head is showing you what you see. That's the stairs. The stairs barely even look like stairs. I love it, Russell. Yes. In each round, Popeye has to win Olive Oil's affection, catching all of her hearts, just like he did in the arcade. But sort of. We'll see when we get in there. I'm so glad the manual breaks these down, because that's what the spinach looks like. There's the elevators. There's the hearts. That's right. They're really minimalistic artwork here on this show, or this game. There's the platform and what the bucket looks like. Brutus, though, that's a really large character for the Philips Videopac. You can play a 1-player game, and Brutus is controlled by the computer. Watch out for him. Make sure you can not let him knock you in the water. If you play a 2-player game, the second player gets to control Brutus. That's right. You can control the bad guy and run after Popeye. That is one of the highlights of this game, the 2-player version of it. So cool effect there. There's the scoring. Got to know what that is here in November 1982. And that's how you play some Popeye. Let's pop it and play. This is brought to us by Parker Brothers and Nintendo. It's November 20th, 1982. When we boot it up, tells you that we're in Europe right now, right? He does kind of look like the 2600 ET. So you push whatever game mode you're going to be on. I'm going to play the first game mode. And as we begin, Olive Oil's at the top. Oh, look, she has a little animation blowing a kiss for the heart. Nice. So I can move around. I have... Wait, that's my punch? Whoa, the first thing that I already noticed is the movement. The movement is not... I'm tapping the digital joystick, and Popeye, like, moves a frame. Can everyone see? I'm tapping, and he just actually moves what looks like a square hex. So I don't have smooth movement over Popeye as he moves around. And I have elevators to move. Is this a ladder here in the center? Let me see. Yeah, it is. You can walk down there. You can see Brutus is going for the jump. Nice. We got elevators on either side. And collect the... But the control is so weird. It's not allowing me... This is... we've seen this with platformers, you know, like Donkey Kong. You make a jump, and you're committed to the jump, and you cannot change the jump. This is one of the very first times you have to be committed to your walk, because you cannot change your walk mid... it is going to continue to push... Oh, the same thing with stairs. Oh, let's see if we can get this out of the water now. Get it? You can. Sweet. All right, at least you can do that, but okay, let's grab some spinach and see what I can do. Oh my gosh. Can I just punch him? Yes! Don't let any of the hearts go. Now, I have seen real footage of the Videopac playing this game, and also another game that we played, Frogger. Both of the sound, we thought it was emulation sounding strange. When the few video footage I've seen of people playing this, the sound was also strange for that. So I really want to know, if someone wants to put in the chat, if this is the emulation making that weird sound. Whoa, Brutus just totally threw something at us. And we're all flipping out. All right, there's our bucket at the top, though. Let's see if I can get up there. Ride the elevator. Whoa, you have to commit to the elevator, too. Whoa, yeah, this makes you think maybe I'm playing Popeye because they're giving us a little bit of the characters, but the play control really is not Popeye. This is... Like when I want to get on I can't get on the elevator right now. Hold on. Hold it. Get me on. No? Maybe you punch your way on? What? It won't let me go on the elevator either. Oh, he's going for the jump. All right, let's go down the stairs. Yeah, this feels like something's missing. There's some jank going on with Popeye that's making this feel like it's not as smooth. And that's possibly the reason why it wasn't brought to North America. Yeah, the elevators are really bizarre, too. You have to remember, this is a system that... Well, I guess we could say the same for the Atari 2600. This came out in 1978 originally. You know, it was made to play Pong-like games or tank games, you know, kind of like the Atari 2600. But this one is not responding for the way that you move Popeye around. It just doesn't feel as smooth. It's rough. It's really rough. If you want to experience the jank yourself, you'll understand what I'm going through here. So yeah, very different from the original arcade version. It's like an homage to the arcade version. It's modifying the game to play as well as it can. I like that they included some things like picking up the hearts out of the water, but yeah, it's rough. It's really hard to play. Yeah, because if Popeye comes at us, if I've already been starting to walk toward him, I have this, it feels like a square or a hex that I can, that I have to stay in. Like right here, this movement, moving back and forth, I cannot do quick movements. It's very, very stilted. Now, mind you, we've already seen some very good platformers like Pickaxe Pete on the Odyssey 2 and the Philips Videopac. And that one gave you so much freedom. It felt like you were being able to play even better than Donkey Kong in the arcade. That's how good it was. So this one should be better. But Popeye doesn't run around and jump in places. You know, he only punches his way. But even your punch animation right now just feels so limited. Yes, and this right here is the only level. The only difference you'll see is the bucket sometimes appears at the top, like you saw. But they don't really modify or change anything. What you see here is the only part of the game. No, why don't you go on the elevator? Popeye, save yourself. How do I get on the elevator? What? I don't know how to... see, before he was walking on, and I wonder if it's only in certain places you can walk on or off. This is so weird. And look, if Brutus comes over, I'm just dead. That's it. I'm totally out. That's crazy. This is supposed to be an 8-way joystick, and it just feels like I'm controlling something even more simplistic. Yeah, is it bugged? Or maybe it was released with bugs, and that's why it didn't come to North America? Very crazy. So it is based on Donkey Kong originally, There's a little nod to how this plays with Donkey Kong, but not really. It's the 33rd Donkey Kong variant we've seen up to this point. And so this one's one of the lower Donkey Kong style games, or arcade platformers that are like this. But this one, when you consider all the games on other consoles right now, it's going to be low, really low. So if I'm going to work you in our rating of all the games we've seen so far on all consoles, I'm going to start with Beauty and the Beast that we saw on the Intellivision. That one was a very well done arcade. What? Why didn't he go on the elevator? Man, Brutus is destroying us. And then we also saw Fast Eddie on the Atari 2600. That's another fairly average, platform that you would play right now on consoles. But then you see Donkey Kong on the Atari 2600. I would say Donkey Kong plays not as good as Fast Eddie or Beauty and the Beast, the Atari 2600 Donkey Kong. Then we also saw the Epoch Cassette Vision's Monster Mansion, which is based on Donkey Kong. That one I said was still less than average, like a 2.5 star video game on console right now. And then we also saw on the Atari 2600 King Kong. I'd say that one was a bad game. And Donkey Kong on the Intellivision, I'd say, is a bad game, 2 stars. But below even that, we played a game called Airlock on the Atari 2600. Airlock was about a 1.5 star. Playing this game, I'm wondering if I would rather play Airlock or Donkey Kong on the Intellivision. I would still say Donkey Kong on the Atari 2600 is better than this. I would say that maybe King Kong is better than this, but barely. So this is an interesting take on the video game because I love Popeye, but this version of the game is way low. Yeah, I'm looking over the chat. Oh man, we got lots of low ratings. 1.5. Yeah, it was 1982 when this is the first time you would have seen and be able to play this game. But yeah, lots of 1.5 stars. So that's around the same range that we gave Airlock when we played it. Yeah, I don't know. It's because of the play control. It's so stilted, and I know it can do better. That's what really turns it off. But I don't know if I can go as low as Airlock. That was pretty low. 1.5 stars of everything up to this point. Yeah, and I see Manly throwing out a 2-star. So now I'm asking myself the question, is this about the same range as Donkey Kong on the Intellivision and King Kong on the Atari 2600? Then I would say it's a 2-star game on all the games you could play right now on all home consoles. Or do I want to really say it's in the same level as Airlock? I could see maybe you get used to it, but no, I would still prefer this over Airlock. So I'll give it the nod and say 2 stars. Yeah, there you go. And give it the rating of what it would be on the Odyssey or Philips Videopac. So, but still lower tier. Very interesting. I really wanted to love this one. We are going to see other ports, tons of them, on other consoles coming up later, but this one was the very first. That was pretty fun. All right, let's see what our next game is after Popeye, after this commercial break.
Mattel Electronics would like to...
Mr. Television, how come all you ever talk about are sports games?
Sorry?
Intellivision now has games like the arcade.
I know.
Walk and Chase.
Absolutely.
Oh, yes.
Tron Deadly Death. Excellent.
Right.
Night Stalker. Awesome Robot.
Oh, glad you like them.
Sorry, I can't hang around here. I'm going home to play my Intellivision.
Who was that kid?
He obviously didn't see E.T., I guess. And what was the point of it being there? That was a total cameo. Let's get the kid on the commercial so we can sell some Intellivision games. It's time to play the latest on the Mattel Intellivision. This is USCF Chess, not just chess. That is what it was called before. When it was originally released, I think, or possibly going to come out, but didn't really come out. This is the first time you could have seen USCS Chess on the Mattel Intellivision. Here's the box. Epic, awesome. Man, I love the Intellivision boxes. Hugely collectible. This one is only available on the Mattel Intellivision, and it is our 49th game we've played so far on this console. So good. Man, makes you want to play chess, right? On the back, they give you an example of a screenshot, and this has lots of features. For a home console chess game, get ready to blow your socks if you want to play some really good chess. This is by Mattel Electronics. They made this in-house. It is the 64th game that Mattel Electronics has done that we've seen on the show. They've done 40. This is the 42nd game that they've done on the Intellivision. So remember, there's 49 games total. Intellivision's done 42 of them so far. What other artwork do we have for USCF chess? Oh, there we go. The original box, if that was a real box or a fabrication. So before it was called USCF chess, it was just chess. There it is, yes. So far, Mattel Electronics has done 9 games on the Atari 2600 under the M Network logo. And this was done by Russ Ludwig, the first game we've seen by Russ. Way to go, Russ. Yeah, besides the box, we have the fabrications or unfabrications of the box. This one has 2 overlays. You need to play with 2 controllers. 2 hand controllers, because one of them has options for the overlay and the other controller has different options for the overlay. That's right, it's a whole new level of complication, but what would you expect, because since the Intellivision came out, they've been trying to make things very complicated. Oh yeah. Oh, is that right, Marshall? Yeah, I'm looking at blueskyrangers.com for these releases. This is the release of USCF Chess, so that would make sense. They lost the license and then they converted it to just calling it chess. They don't got the Chess Federation behind them. So there's the cartridge to play chess. Yeah, there we go. You can see one of them has the copyright 1981, like it came out first. Yeah, it had to be. How much would you pay for a chess license right now? All right, here's the manual. Oh man, I don't know if we can get through the whole thing. There's a lot going on with this one. It is 1 or 2 players, which is big if you think about all the chess games that are out there. This one may have been done by Teletape, and the first time we ever saw anything that Teletape has done. And moving forward, I'm going to be referencing the Blue Sky Rangers website because they have the most accurate release dates. That's where Intellivision ended up going after everything, referring to this time period. So this game features lots of stuff. You can take back and redo moves. You can rotate the game board 180 degrees. You can set up the chessboard for special moves and instances. You can play against the CPU. It's got 7 different difficulty levels. You can also switch the computer to make a moves for the CPU. If the computer takes too long, you can force the CPU to make a move right now, or the best move it can think of instead of taking its time. It has audible tones and pauses whenever it makes moves. This has a lot going for it. This one, I'm going to include a video down below in the links of Mattel Intellivision's this chess game against the Atari 2600's video chess and have them battle it out, computer against computer. It's a cool video, so check that one out if you get a chance to see if you're a chess aficionado, at least right now. So here's our controls. You need both controllers because this is going to help you control everything. Look how many options this is. Just bask in this. Actually, you can't even see it all because it's taking place on the other side. This is insane. But I wouldn't expect anything less from the Mattel Intellivision. The object of the game is to play chess. To begin the game, it shows us how to reset. You can change the game mode between player versus computer, player versus player, or computer against computer demo. You can see the computer just play chess against itself. Yeah, lots of different modes, skill levels to choose from. It breaks down all the skill levels here. This is awesome. It's also using an interface of like a point and select, pick up the piece and drop the piece using your hand controller. So cool. Done very, very well. And like I said, this manual is huge because this has the most options we've seen for chess on a home console. So the 7 difficulty options, the ability to use a pointer to move your pieces. Chess is not new to us here on Chronologically Gaming. This is the 27th chess game we've played on all systems. On the console space, though, we've seen chess first on the Atari 2600 as video chess. Then we saw chess on the VC 4000. And then we saw Schach or chess on the Fairchild Channel F, Chess 2 on the VC 4000. Then we saw Star Chess on the Arcadia 2001, which was not true chess. It was like, making fun of chess, but that's it. That's all the chess that are on home consoles right now for this to rival or fight with. So I'm just going through this manual because we're not going to read the whole thing. It is epic. This is epic chess for a home console. Are you ready? Let's pop it and play USCF chess for the Mattel Intellivision. This is Russ Ludwig and Teletape. All right, so I'm going to just go into a player versus computer mode and just do a few moves just to see what you would experience playing this. Okay, so you can grab your piece, move your piece where it wants to, and then you do have to wait for the computer to move. I'm using the first difficulty setting because this is... we don't want to wait for the computer to all day for their move, but you can force them to move. You can say, I'm tired of waiting for this computer to move. Let's just have them do the move. So the first thing about this game is, I'm just going to say it outright, this is the best console chess game you can play right now, and this chess even rivals some of the other chess games we've seen for microcomputers right now. That's how good this chess is. The amount of features it has, the difficulty setting. If you want to check out more links, I'll include down below some other people playing this chess. There's even some people that have taken true chess championships and recreated them here on the Mattel Television. That's how cool it is. It's awesome. I love it. All right, so that's about it of what I was going to show. It is so cool. Of Intellivision's USCF chess. Here on Chronologically Gaming, we've come across, this is our 27th game of chess that we've seen. We really don't play a full game of chess because it does take a long time. The big ones out there are still Sargon chess and the chess they have in the Atari home computer. As far as the intelligence, this one still packs a punch. This is really, really good when you consider a chess game you want to play. So now, what would you give this? Of all the games you could play across everything on a home console, if chess is your thing, you would go 5 of everything, because there's nothing else that can rival this right now. But because it is chess, not everyone's going to want to play this or it's their cup of tea. I can understand that. I still would say it's above average, and it is excellent. Oh, yeah, for consoles, yeah, Curtis is going 4.5. I see a 4-star. Yeah, and then Brad, if you're not really into chess, it's just average for all the things you can play. Think of all the action, fun games that are out there for consoles that you can be playing. But it can't be denied, USCF chess is awesome. I actually want to say, I want to say 4. I don't know if I can say it's one of the best games you could see. Well, no, actually, I think I will go that high, because I've seen people nowadays showing off this chess game. It still works in place today. It is highly complicated, like Intellivision is, but yeah. Yeah, if you're a chess guy, there's a 5-star out there too. Yeah, I'll still say one of the best on home consoles. There's nothing that can top this. I'd love to see the next chess game that will top this on home consoles, though. That'll be fun to see. All right. Love it. And that's where we got to put our video game playing on pause, or showcasing on pause. We don't really play a whole thing of chess. Maybe someday I'll have someone on the show and we finish an entire game of video chess, but it'll just take too long. I mean, you have to admit, though, scrolling through the manual, reading all the features of that game, it's just too good, too amazing. I really love when we get to play everything and see everything on all systems to really verify this is the best out there, or the best that you could play right now. And let me know down in the comments if you did experience these games when they came out, as we are here on Chronologically Gaming. Next time on Chronologically Gaming, haven't we seen this game before? Tim Gilbert's game from a compilation we almost missed, and we will command the entire Roman military. That's it for today, and like I always say, you merely adopted retro. I was born in it. Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the channel and joining me on my quest to play every single video game in order of release. We'll be streaming live every weekday at 9 p.m. Central, so join us and let us know if we missed any games along the way. This video would not be possible without Launchbox, RetroArch, and MAME. Tell all your friends there's some crazy guy named Chronologically Gaming trying to play every single video game. We have links down below that'll send you to places like our Discord and Patreon, and one that says all the video games we've ever played. If you go there, it's a list of everything, and you can click right to the game you want to see. Chronologically Gaming is the name to look for. We are perpetually retro, and we will catch you next time.